4 signs. There'll be 200 schools throughout all of San Francisco that'll get these new signs that lower the speed to a maximum of about 15 miles an hour. That is proven to be much more safer than having no signs or having no instruction. So parents, I want to thank all of you for joining us. These recommendations come from the experts that are studying how we can increase the pedestrian and student safety around our schools. These are hot spots all over the city. We want our kids to be safe. We will join you in that effort, and our police department and our school district officials and our transit system. So I want to let you know we're working together. We've got continued meetings on how to make sure we not only post signs, but the police are going to be out there enforcing this. And they're going to start out with telling people and educating them, not just throwing out a citation and a fine right away, educating first so that people know got to drive slower around the schools. And with that, we hope to change the whole way people pay respect to pedestrian safety and school children's safety. So with that, thank you very much, Principal.
Supervisor Marcus.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Are you happy to be here? Yeah, you're going to learn a lot today. Well, we're here today to help with making sure you're safe. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Are you happy to be here? Yeah, you're going to learn a lot today. Well, we're here today to help with making sure you're safe. And we want to always make sure that when our kids go to school, it's safer. And you know, sometimes as Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Are you happy to be here? Yeah, you're going to learn a lot today. Well, we're here today to help with making sure you're safe. And we want to always make sure that when our kids go to school, it's safer. And you know, sometimes, as your parents will probably tell you, they'll see a lot of cars and sometimes buses, they'll go too fast on the street. And you kind of wish they would slow down for your safety. Welcome to your school. How are you doing? We're doing the sign changes here to lower the miles per hour zone to 15. So we're going to do it all over all the schools in the city. So thank you. Thanks. Good morning. Welcome to your school. We're posting the new signs for the miles per hour zone. We're going to lower them all to 15 around the schools and all over the city, just to keep it safe for the kids. So we're going to do an education. But I get to announce that today, so I thought I'd just welcome the kids in. Come on up. Welcome to your school. You excited? All right. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Are you happy to be here? Yeah, you're going to learn a lot today. Well, we're here today to help with making sure you're safe. And we want to always make sure that when our kids go to school, it's safer. And you know, sometimes, as your parents will probably tell you, they'll see a lot of cars and sometimes buses, they'll go too fast on the street. And you kind of wish they would slow down for your safety. You want to be safer? Yeah! And I want you to be safe as well. I always want to join your parents and join all of the city agencies. We have our police chief here. We have our director of municipal railway, the transit system. We have our school board president is here as well to make sure all of us join together with you, with the school, and with the parents to make sure you're always safe. So we're going to be putting up these new signs along all of the schools in San Francisco, beginning at Peabody. You're the first school to get the sign. That must mean that you must be among the smartest kids in our city. That's got to mean something, right? Because somebody says that let's go to Peabody first because they must have some smart kids. So we're going to start putting up these signs. You get the first signs, all of the schools, each of them will get about 4 signs. There'll be 200 schools throughout all of San Francisco that'll get these new signs that lower the speed to a maximum of about 15 miles an hour. That is proven to be much more safer than having no signs or having no instruction. So parents, I want to thank all of you for joining us. These recommendations come from the experts that are studying how we can increase the pedestrian and student safety around our schools. These are hot spots all over the city. We want our kids to be safe. We will join you in that effort, and our police department and our school district officials and our transit system. So I want to let you know we're working together. We've got continued meetings on how to make sure we not only post signs, but the police are going to be out there enforcing this. And they're going to start out with telling people and educating them, not just throwing out a citation and a fine right away, educating first so that people know got to drive slower around the schools. And with that, we hope to change the whole way people pay respect to pedestrian safety and school children's safety. So with that, thank you very much, Principal.
Supervisor Marr. Okay, thank you. And Supervisor Marr is here. He's a regular at George Peabody. He was here with us at Bike to School Day last year. Nice to see you again. He's got his bike helmet too. Did you feel safer this morning with all this help out here?
Yeah, it's so great that all the kids are here, and Peabody is one of the great schools in our school district. So thank you everyone for being safer and driving safely and getting the kids to school safely. But I think these kind of measures are so important. Our Department of Public Health identifies key risk factors, and I think reducing the speed limits to 15 miles an hour will keep everyone safer. But thank you to Mr. Brew and everyone at Peabody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, George Peabody students, let's show all our visitors what a great job George Peabody students do in the morning walking into class. And we'll start with our new kindergartners, rooms 1, 2, and 3.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out today. We're going to get going. Before we do start, I want to thank the principal, William Brew, for hosting us here today. I think he's maybe already in and getting to work, but I want to thank him for letting us come here and either disrupt or enhance the morning drop-off, depending on your perspective. It was a very lively and fun time, so I want to thank him for having us here. My name is Ed Risk, and I'm the Director of Transportation here in San Francisco. Very happy to be here for a very important reason. My tenure here stretches all the way back to Monday when I had my first day as head of the Municipal Transportation Agency. But although this is I've only been here for 4 days, I've been with the city for 4 years. And from the different perspectives that I've served in the city, I've been able to see and work on the issue that we're here to talk about today, which is pedestrian safety and particularly safety for kids. It's really a very simple issue. Kids need to be able to get to school, to leave school, and to have any other interface between the school and the street happen safely. And that's what we're here to talk about today. We've got a lot of people who are going to give you a perspective on this. So without further ado, the man who is leading the effort, who really has created an aura of and a direction for collaboration between the many different city departments, the school district, and other partners that are part of making this happen, our Mayor, Ed Lee.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. I always want to start out now when I'm with our SFMTA director that 2 Eds are always better than 1. And so we're coordinating a lot more these days, and that's been at the heart of this effort here. To my left, you see a product here, and I'll go through it in a minute. But I just wanted to thank all of the efforts that are going on between the school district and San Francisco government and our parents and our police department and our volunteer organizations like Walk SF or sustainability groups, all of the collaboration going on with supervisors like Supervisor Eric Marr and others who are behind me, and with the principals and with our police chief. We're all working together to make sure that this whole topic about pedestrian safety gets the visibility that it needs, because it still is a huge challenge for our very congested city. Our city that does invite millions of people to our city every year, but then we're also a city of neighborhoods schools like Peabody here, where we've got to do even extra things to make sure that our kids are getting to school safely. And so just this morning, what I wanted to do to come out here immediately was to join Brian, who was out here this morning. He's a volunteer from our fire department, happens to be a parent of kids that go to this school, spending the morning guiding the kids from the cars to the playground. And it's necessary for that because there's so much traffic that's going on here. But I got firsthand from him that it's verified that the speed of the streets and the routes around our schools are dangerous, that they need to be slowed down. And it's been shown in study after study. And the last one that we looked at was a study in London as well, where if you slow down even a fraction of the speed, you can get a high increase in the amount of safety and a reduction in the fatalities that result from car collision. And so for us in San Francisco, today we picked Peabody to be the very first school, the first of 200 schools in San Francisco, that by the end of this year and through next year in January, will get at least 3 to 4 of these signs posted all around the routes contingent with the schools. It will, by our vehicle code, reduce the speed from the normal 25 miles per hour, or some of them 30, to 15 miles per hour all around these schools. That's going to increase the level of safety in a very, very dramatic way. This idea results from the very first meetings that we've had when we've pulled together a pedestrian safety advisory committee made up of all of the different agencies and volunteer agencies within San Francisco that reflected all of the agencies that we mentioned earlier today. They met already. They're going to continue meeting because it isn't just about the signs, but this is the first physical indicator of slowing down traffic. Our police chief is committed to making sure he works with the parents, educating the drivers, and then ultimately an enforcement by citations that will have to be done when there's violations that occur. But we'll start with the great effort of educating parents, educating drivers, including public drivers as well as private drivers and people who are coming down these streets. I think that you'll probably observe that until these signs go up, you'll see cars coming down here at probably inappropriate speeds, and that's what we want to do, is keep them slowed down. This will definitely be a verifiable thing to reduce pedestrian accidents that occur. And especially for our kids, the most vulnerable ones, you can see them, they're kind of half awake when they're coming in, and I saw that for a very real thing. They just want to get to the courtyard, to the playground. And they're not necessarily going to be aware of everything here. So the speed reduction is extremely important. So I'm here to announce the signage that will go up, as well as the schools that will participate, and that the enforcement measures will be there, along with the education. That's the way we do things and do them better. Mayor Newsom, at the end of last year, executed an executive directive that had the departments coming in and forming this task force, which I'm privileged to convene, to get the best ideas. It also announced that we have a goal to reduce pedestrian fatalities and accidents by 50% by the year 2000, I believe it's 2020. And this will be the initial efforts to start doing this. There'll be more to come as we meet with supervisors and others, because I know the other supervisors in our district, Supervisor Kim, Supervisor Malia Cohn, and as well as Supervisor Marr, have strongly expressed this to be one of their top concerns. I'm going to be working very closely with you to get the best ideas forward, working with even groups like our Bicycle Coalition too, because they know traffic and they know it's their safety of their ridership as well as the kids in school. So we announced this today to be a dedicated effort, and we'll be paying strong attention to this as the year goes by, and we'll make sure all these signs go up and the education enforcement start. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The partnership within the elected family is important to making efforts like this work. You heard from the principal that Eric Marr is no stranger to Peabody School. You all know that he represents the Richmond district. What you may not know is that he, along with the rest of the Board of Supervisors, sit also as the board of the San Francisco County Transportation Authority. I mention that because the TA is providing the majority of the funding for this initiative. So I want to thank the board in their capacity as the Transportation Authority Board for their leadership and the funding support to enable this to happen, and ask Eric Marr to come up and say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I rode my bicycle from 7th Avenue where I live, and I see near McCoppin School that people are speeding by in the mornings, even as parents are dropping their kids off. So I know this simple policy change will actually save lives. So I think these signs and community education that the MTA and the police department and all of the city family will be working on in the 200 different sites in schools will help save lives. I also wanted to say that as a parent, I know that as we get to work quickly, sometimes we don't understand as drivers that we share the road with people who are pedestrians and also bicyclists as well. And I think signs like this, even reducing speed in other sensitive spots, maybe senior centers and other places, might be another additional policy change. When Elizabeth Stamp and Walk SF and the Bicycle Coalition and many community members came out to speak out at hearings for the Community Operations Committee that I sit on, that was a strong urge, was that we reduce speed limits, not just around schools, but in other sensitive areas. I also wanted to just add that Mayor Lee mentioned that a number of studies have been done, and our Department of Public Health, Rajiv Bhatia and others, have really looked very closely at how policies like this could help make our communities safer and save lives. So thank you so much for the MTA's efforts. The last thing I wanted to say was that it doesn't come without a cost. The Transportation Authority just and I chair the Finance Committee of the Transportation Authority. We just allotted, I think it was $320,000, and the MTA is contributing an amount of money as well. But it's well worth it when it helps to save lives and keep our communities safer. So thank you so much for being here, everyone.
Thank you, Supervisor Marr. There's another body that the voters have empowered to essentially manage and regulate traffic, and that's the SFMTA board. And they took an action a few weeks ago to legislate the first batch of these zones, this being within that first batch to create, which is enabled under a recent 2007 state law, the creation of these school zones that allow us to create the 15-mile-an-hour safety zone in front of schools. So on behalf of the SFMTA board, happy to welcome up to the mic one of my new bosses, Director Cheryl Brinkman.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here. As Mayor Lee mentioned, there is a growing body of research that shows we really can make the streets safer, and one of the biggest ways we can do that is reduce the speeds. If all else fails, and engineering, education, and enforcement and careful designs of our streets somehow still results in a car and pedestrian or car-bike interaction, this speed limit can save lives. And so I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm very pleased to continue to work with the rest of the city, with the rest of the organizations, and to know that they have the support of the MTA board in these very important initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Brinkman. I think the mayor and Supervisor Marr mentioned that there's a lot of different city agencies working together to make this happen. I think they both mentioned the health department has been a very strong partner, and I do want to acknowledge their great work, and it's their research that I just want to reiterate. There's an exponential decline in the likelihood of serious injury and fatality for every 5 miles an hour that you lower the speed limit. So it's really very powerful tool to ensure safety in the streets, as Director Brinkman said. In the unfortunate event, if despite all of our other efforts, there is impact between a vehicle and a person. So it's a very important effort. The Department of Public Health is a great partner. Another great partner for both the school district and the MTA in this effort is San Francisco Police Department. Very pleased to have San Francisco Chief of Police Greg Sir here.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The message is clear. Slow down, pay attention, keep the kids safe. Those of you that were here this morning, it's very hectic at drop-off time. The kids are very excited. I can remember all too well when I was a little kid going to school here in San Francisco. You're excited to get back amongst your friends. A couple weeks ago, I was present when the young Philly fan was hit by a car. Nothing impacts a person more than an injured child, especially as serious as that was, and it's so unnecessary. This speed limit will go a long way to keeping the kids safe. The enforcement will be strict. It's a very expensive citation, but it's one that if you're putting the kids in jeopardy will be well deserved, and it will be given. Please slow down around schools, pay attention, no electronic devices, no texting, keep our kids safe, avoid the ticket.
Thanks, Chief. Our host here today, and really the focus of our efforts, is the San Francisco Unified School District. This initiative will reach all elementary schools in San Francisco, but the majority of our kids are in our public schools. We're very pleased to have them as a partner, very pleased to have here representing the school district, not only the principal of this school, but the president of the Board of Education, Hydra Mendoza.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be here as part of this partnership. I think this once again demonstrates the value of our partners. San Francisco Unified has gone through so many different challenges. And we've realized that we can't do what we need to do for our students without the help and support of the city. And Mary Lee has been an incredible force in lockstep with all of the work that we've been doing at San Francisco Unified. And with Ed at the helm now, it's been really great to have a parent who's in our schools who understands the challenges that we're up against and really thinks about what it is that we need to do for the safety of our students. So if you look around, this is a very dense neighborhood. And so this isn't only about our students, but the community that supports our students. And so as families are coming out of their garages, the idea that the speed is going to come down to 15 miles per hour is significant. And we're also encouraging our students to bike to school, to walk to school. And with the support of the Bike Coalition and with Elizabeth at SF Walk, we've been really encouraging our families to do that. And this will give us yet one other leverage point to get them on the streets because we're telling them that we're making it more safe for them to be able to come to school biking and walking. And so I just want to thank our city family, and I'm so happy to be part of the city family to be able to do this. And on behalf of Carlos Garcia, who couldn't be here this morning, and all of our schools in San Francisco Unified School District, thank you so much for all your hard work and for helping to make our kids safe so that we can get them here. They'll be here every single day so that we can get them to learn and get them on to college. So thanks again for all of the work around helping us to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. And then finally, the voters and the board a dozen years or so ago made a very important policy statement, and that was declaring San Francisco to be a transit-first city. And transit-first does not mean transit only. The policy is about getting people out of their cars, about providing better and safer, more convenient, more sustainable ways for people to get around San Francisco. That includes by bike and walking. If we want to get people on their bikes and walking, they need to be safe, and that's what this initiative is about. Part of realizing that policy takes a lot of work from folks not only within the MTA and our partner agencies and the school district, but people outside the government. There are some very strong advocacy organizations and organizations that help educate, that help inform policy, that help shape the public debate about this. I want to acknowledge Leah Shaham from the San Francisco Bicycle Coalition, a great partner with us. And to close out here from Walk SF, Elizabeth Stamp.
Thank you, Ed. Walk San Francisco has been working on this campaign to get 15-mile-an-hour safer speed zones around schools for a long time, and we're so excited that it's coming to fruition. We're really pleased to be here with the mayor, MTA, the police department, the school district, and the Department of Public Health as well, which works on safe routes to schools. We're here today to establish these speed limits because the thing is, speed kills. If you're hit by a car that's going 30 miles an hour, you're 6 times more likely to be killed than if that car is going just 10 miles an hour less, 20 miles an hour. So establishing these safe speed zones around our schools will make it safer not only for kids to walk to school, but for everybody who walks in our city. And that's everybody. Everyone is a pedestrian. And this is really a step forward to calm traffic around all of our schools and around all of our city and our neighborhoods. So we're very excited to be here. Walk SF has been working for a long time on this campaign, and it's great to see it happening this fall. One thing that's been mentioned is the need for funding to make this and other improvements happen around the city. There's going to be a bond on the November ballot, a streets bond, that will help us make permanent investments in making the streets safer for pedestrians all around the city, and that's something that we really need. It's a smart investment in a world-class city. Again, we're so excited to be here to announce these great new speed zones going into place. Thank you so much.
So thank you all for coming out. The folks behind me, thank you all, especially for your leadership and support. We will be working hard to get these signs in as quickly as we can, to work with the police department in particular on the outreach, education, and enforcement. And we look forward most of all to seeing the results, the outcomes of this. We look to see a significant decrease in the amount or improvement in the safety of the areas around the schools as a result of this initiative. So thank you all for coming out, and be safe today.
Qualified.
No.
You need us to hold the ladder for you? You feel okay? I learned this at DPW. Anybody on the ladder, you got to make sure. Yeah.
Needs some help with that bottom screw.
I think this is the first step.
Let me pull the bottom one out. So that's helpful.
Yeah, right.
Away our secrets here.
Yeah, right. So it's going to be on